Hello, everybody. Joe Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. Well, it is Friday, November 20th. The market is it's kind of pulling back a little bit. Nothing really, nothing really exciting today. But we had some good updates, and just kind of want to get it into it. I'm going to be doing a little bit of kind of look into Bitcoin. We've seen a nice movement on Bitcoin, and we might want to kind of take a look at possible ways to get into that. So, without further ado, just wanted to show you basically how the market is in a confirmed uptrend. And of course, a confirmed uptrend is a time when you want to be wading into the market. You don't want to kind of reduce your cash position and get into the market, but it's not a powerful uptrend like it has been, in the last. In the prior months, so with the COVID kind of upward trend. So be a little bit careful, but it definitely is a time to be possibly getting toward fully invested. So that's kind of an important thing. The S&P is off a little bit today, not much. Dow Jones is down a little bit, but the Nasdaq seems to be at pretty much of a key level, about a 12,000 level, just slightly below that level. So that's good. We're in a confirmed uptrend, which is a good thing. Now, just want to show you the chart on the world's largest ETF, in the Spider. And what's significant about this one is it covers the S&P 500. That's the 500 largest stocks that basically trade on the exchange. It tends to be, we are right below essentially a key level. About a 360 is a key level. As you can see, that's getting a little bit of resistance. It's come down a little bit. We are in a little bit of a downward trend here, and we're off about $1. But as long as it stays over about 330, I think we're going to be doing good, and we can still stay, kind of fully invested in this market. Again, we're in a confirmed uptrend, so being fully invested is kind of a good thing right now. But we have to be kind of more selective because it isn't as powerful a movement up as it's been. So, that's kind of the good news and the bad news. QQQ Trust, this is also a very, very large ETF. It covers the NASDAQ 100, and this is primarily growth stocks. This is where, I like to trade. I like to trade in the growth stocks because that typically is, those are the best CAN-SLIM stocks. And of course, I am a CAN-SLIM trader. And those are where many of the best growth stocks are. Volume's down a little bit, about 53%. So it's kind of a weak day, just flirting with that $300 level. It's at 292.32 when the slide was taken, and it's just kind of flat. This is characteristic for a Friday. Fridays are when options expire. This is not a major option expiration date. Well, but options are expiring. So there is a little bit of a selling pressure, but we're still in a confirmed uptrend. I just want to show you this really interesting chart that I kind of came across, and I started to do some research on it because it's so interesting to me with Bitcoin. There has been a little bit of I don't think there's an inflation risk in the market, but there's a deflation market, and there's potentially deflation in the market. And gold isn't quite as good a hedge as it has been, but Bitcoin seems to be picking up in popularity. It has made a very nice. Each Bitcoin currently is it's holding that $18,000 level, which is excellent. And as you can see, this has been the trend basically for the last few months. So that's an extremely good trend. I did have a proxy for Bitcoin on my my small portfolio, and that is the GBTC. I did buy some more of it this morning. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and it's up strongly again. It's up $1.15, which, considering this ETF is in the $20 range, it's up 5.7% just today, and it's been up the last few days. I waded in on the GBTC about a month ago, and it's gone from strength to strength. I do believe that towards the end of the year, I think there are going to be more people buying into this. Now, what is the GBTC? Well, the GBTC is called the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and they hold approximately 4% of the world's Bitcoin. So this is an easy way that you can get Bitcoin into your portfolio. Get Bitcoin into your portfolio without having to trade actual Bitcoin. The problem with trading actual Bitcoin, of course, is that at $18,000 for each one, that's kind of pricey, and there's a big difference between the bid and ask. So the proxy for the Bitcoin market is this GBTC, and I do think it's a very good way to go. Now, why am I so interested in the GBTC right now? I want to show you this chart that I put together, and that is the GBTC has moved above a very key level, and that's about 1650 here. I drew a line across here because this is the high that it made prior. So we always want to be looking to buy stocks or ETFs when they go into their higher highs, when they're at least, when they're about 15% off of their all-time high. That is definitely the case here. Now, is there a really good buy point on it? No, there was a buy point and then it moved above that, but I do, and this may pull back a little bit because it's moved up very strongly today. So if you do buy GBTC, this is a tough place to enter it, but if you do buy it, put in a stop loss 2.5% below where you bought it, because it can pull back. But the general trend for this is up, and I want to show you here with the volume bars, they are moving up. So we have an increasing volume, we have an increasing price, and we're also, the relative strength against the S&P 500 is 95, meaning that the GBTC is outperforming all but 5% of the market. And also, this line here, this is the relative strength line, it is pointed up and it's going higher. So that's very, very bullish. I just wanted to put that in there. Just want to show you my current holdings before we get into the questions, and thanks for holding on here. My current holdings, I'm in Cloudflare, which is symbol NET. It's up a little bit today. About $1.77. I'm also in the GBTC, which we talked about just a second ago here, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. It's up $1.13 just today, and it was up yesterday as well. So it's been performing very, very nicely, and I'm in that as well. I'm in a stock called FormFactor. They are in the semiconductor industry. They make some part of the packaging for some of the ICs. It had a very good earnings, and it's moved very well. Off a little bit on ResMed. This is the sleep apnea company. I may be trimming on ResMed, but it's done well. It seems to be running out of gas. I'm also up on IMFI, IPHI. It's a chip company, 5G chip company, and it's up just barely, about 83 cents today. Down a little bit on Tupperware. I had a nice run on Tupperware from the breakout on Tupperware. It's down about 20 cents today. And we've seen a little bit of a pullback on Tesla. I do have a fairly large position in Tesla. Again, I did go in as it was moving towards the 502 buy point. Now, with Tesla, there's two buy points that are of note. The first one is where I really started buying, and that is at 465.90, and it went past that today. Now, will it pull back lower than that? Who knows? But I think if Tesla can move above the 502.49 buy point on convincing volume and stay there for a day, I think it's going higher. So there definitely is some resistance at about that 502. Just wanted to be up front with that. So thank you so much. Let's take, thank you for waiting on TikTok. Let's see if I can get a good one. What is the best stocks to buy for short-term gain? Well, that's a good question. What I do typically, and this is a question from Ashok, what I do typically is I'm looking for stocks that are getting ready to break out. That is something that I am looking for right away. Now, there are two stocks currently today on the breakout list, and I want to kind of bring them up. And I'm, by the way, if you're looking on TikTok, I'm actually broadcasting the charts on this one on YouTube, so you can go over to YouTube very easily, youtube.com/DallasTradingFloor, and this is episode number 179. Well, we do have a breakout on some stocks today, so let me see if I can get you get that for you. One of them, the first breakout stock today, is a diet company called Medfast. MED is the symbol. It's 179.44. It's up $9.82. I'm going to show you the chart on this one just really quick. This is breaking out today. I'm not sure that this is buyable. This was not necessarily on my radar screen, but it is breaking out today. They had excellent earnings, and there seems to be a lot of people moving into this stock. Now, these kind of stocks are relatively seasonal, in that around the holiday times, people sign up for weight loss. I certainly need to as well. But Medfast is breaking out currently. Let's look if it's buyable. Just because the stock is breaking out doesn't necessarily make it buyable. But the checklist on this is super duper, 100% on the criteria. I use the O'Neill criteria, and we have basically the funds are piling in. They're up. There are 456 funds that are in the stock. So this might be a good alternative to some of the other stocks like Peloton, which may be losing some gas right now. Medfast, I think, might be a way to go. It's breaking out today. I have a second breakout stock that you might be interested in, and this is the interesting company. This is a bowling company. I don't know if you remember Brunswick or not, but I certainly do. I'm old enough to go to remember going bowling in my little town, and they always were Brunswick equipment, and they also make boats too. So they're doing quite well. They're breaking out today on heavy volume. They had excellent earnings, and they're up $3.37. This one is a little bit less expensive, $73.84. Now, you shouldn't choose a stock based on its price. You should choose it based on kind of where it is in the cycle, what's happening on it. And with that said, Brunswick has moved again to a higher high. That's a very important thing. You're looking to buy stocks typically that are making a higher high because they have a tendency to move higher. I know that there's a tendency when you're starting out to I want a cheap stock. I want to buy something that's a low price. I want to buy something that's on sale. That's probably not the best way to go. Higher highs is definitely a good thing, and that's definitely the case with Brunswick. The symbol on that is BC for Brunswick, and definitely is a breakout today. Now, out of the two, Medfast and Brunswick, I think Medfast is better. It has a stronger relative strength. The Brunswick relative strength is only 77, whereas Medfast, which is symbol MED, that stock has a 93 relative strength, and it's coming out of a very nice, what they call cup with handle formation. This is one of the strongest formations that you can have for a stock moving higher. So in answer to your question, Ashok, which is the best stocks to buy for short-term gain, you want to buy stocks as they're breaking out of bases. Medfast, MED, is currently breaking out of a base. It is at $179.20. It's up $6.05. So that's kind of an interesting one. It hasn't been on my watch list, but it is definitely breaking out today. So let's take a look. Thoughts on BABA. And, Alibaba, of course, is one of the big Chinese stocks, along with JD and Tencent. BABA has had some political issues in China that may be a problem. And I want to show you this chart because I don't think you want to be in BABA at this time. All right, so I'm going to pull it up over on the weekly chart. If you'll notice, we have a downward slope on this. We have a downward slope on the at least in the short term. BABA is moving from the 40-day moving average down to the 200-day moving average. It is not a good idea to be buying a stock that is in a descent. You don't want to buy. There's an old adage: it's a bad idea to catch a falling knife. Well, right now, BABA is a falling knife. There's also, if you notice on this chart, and of course, if you want to see this and you're on TikTok, just jump on over to YouTube, and you can see it. But there is heavy selling of this. Interestingly enough, they went through earnings, but there was a sell-off. So right now with BABA, I don't think it's a good place to be. I think it's gonna move lower before it turns. So we want to wait on this one, possibly put it on a watch list, but not a time to buy. You want to buy stocks as they're going higher. You always want to buy stocks as they're going higher. You don't want to buy them as they're going lower. And unfortunately, at least for today, and this is Friday, November 20th, 2020, BABA is going lower. Christian, thank you so very much. Average cost on Tesla, 437, stopped out at 492. Okay, and very happy. Okay. Very, very, very good. Re-entry points, please. Hey, congratulations, congratulations, Christian. You did well, man. You did well. Now this is a rinse and repeat thing. I'm not out currently, but because my stops are a little bit lower than that, they're about in the 586 range. But hey, you made a very, very nice run on that. You basically made $60 a share in just 2 or 3 days. Very, very good. So where can we find a re-entry point for Tesla? Now, by the way, this is a great way to play a stock. If you find a stock that is breaking out like Tesla, that can move very high, very fast, what you do is, as it's breaking out, you buy the shares, and then you pyramid into them, and then as it's making its high, you push your stop loss up, and then if it pulls back like it did today, you're sold out and you make a profit. And congratulations, Christian. That's an excellent way to go. Let's see if we have an entry point here. It's going to be volatile because we're going to get some resistance right at the 502 buy point level, and it's pulled back from that. It's now at 590. So it's down $8.64 right now, about 1.7%. It seems like it's settling right about there. So where is the entry point? Well, if we have a reversal on this, which I think we might, because I'm looking at this right now, and I'm seeing that we're getting some resistance right at about right about this level. We're about the 480, I think 485, 486 level. We have some resistance. If it bounces off that and turns up higher, possibly on Monday, then then I think you might want to get back in it. But don't wait to come back in until it has achieved at least 502. We definitely have some selling today, and we are on Friday, so it's an options expiration day. But one thing I will indicate is that on Wednesday of this week, we had a tremendous amount of volume come in. That was obviously the day that it was announced that it was going to become part of the S&P 500. So what I would do on this one, set your stop losses high on my portfolio, on my small portfolio. What I've done, and then you can see this live. You can see where I've set my stop losses, but my stop losses are set at 486.79, and again, that shows that's a little bit looser than yours, but this is basically 4 days ago I started with this position, and then I moved in with this position. I may push these stop losses up depending on how it goes, but even if it pulls back, I'm still obviously out with a profit. Not quite as good as you. You did much better than I did by buying at 437. I think that was an excellent move. My first position buy was at 450 and then 473. So excellent, and that's a great way you can make some very nice money. And you can play this again and again as it's moving through the 502 buy point. So really, really excellent there. Had to sell. Okay, Jim. Sell or hold Gala, G-A-L-A. Let's look at Gala. Always it depends on exactly where you came in, but the best rule of thumb is, no matter what, if you come into a stock or come into a position, you always want to set a stop loss. And I typically like to set a stop loss at 93% of what I paid, or about a 7% down from where I bought it. And I pretty much do this always, because even if I get stopped out and have to re-enter it, I'm protecting my capital, and that's very, very important. So let's look at Gala. G-A-L-A is the symbol there, and in a second, hopefully it'll come up. I'm having a little bit of bandwidth issues here. It's not okay. Let's see if I can come in on get a chart for you though on that. My charting. There we go. Opening my charting again. Had a little bit of indication that it was not charting properly. So Gala, Gala, and let's take a look there. And that is Belgium-based developer of small molecule medicine. So this is a pharma company. And where can we go in this one? What can we do in this one? Well, I hate to be a Debbie Downer here, but I would get out of this one. And the reason why is very simple. It has to do with it has to do with the slope of this. This is one of the first things that you do when you're looking to see what kind of stock you want to buy. The first thing you do is you look at the weekly chart for overall direction. So I'm going to pull back to that weekly chart. Right now, for GALA, we have a downward trend. So this is not a good time to buy the stock because we are in a downward trend. So typically things that have a downward trend tend to trend lower. Now, it has reversed and it looks like it's moving higher, but very importantly, it's below the 200-day moving average. That's the black line here that I'm showing you. So this is not a buy, and you don't want to accumulate this one until this thing moves higher and really over about $280 a share. It's currently at $124. I don't even think you want to be in this one. It's just it's going to be a difficulty. The checklist is not very good. It's only 4 out of 9. I typically want at least 6 out of 9 on the checklist, so it doesn't meet that criteria either. There is decreasing fund sponsorship too. So this has got a relative strength of 4, so this is not very good. 96% of the market is doing better than this stock. You don't want to be in it. I wouldn't recommend the stock. And maybe you just cash out, find something that's a little bit more trend friendly, and then move in that. I definitely have some watch list stocks that are more trend friendly than that one that you indicated. So thoughts on APTV? Thanks, Lucio. Appreciate it. Let's take a quick look at that one, APTV, and that is. Hopefully, we'll get that up there in a sec. APTV. Yep, there we go. And that manufactures components for powertrain and safety and basically for technology solutions. So it's kind of an industrial company. It's actually a good chart. It's looking good. It's got the right trend. Let's take a look at the trend first. And you always start with the weekly chart. The first thing you do, but when you're looking to find stocks that might be watch listable or buyable, you want to first start with that weekly chart. And the reason you do is because you want to see what the trend is. Well, the trend currently, the trend currently is up. There we go. Get that. There we go. The trend is moving up, so that's a good thing. I apologize. So that it makes the first test there. The relative strength is also very strong, 89. That's a very good relative strength on that. The next big hurdle here is, let's see if the funds are buying it. Well, let's go to the phones and see if we have increasing fund ownership. We have increasing fund ownership, so that is very good. Also on the checklist, let's look at the checklist. We have 6 out of 9, so that's the minimum. So that's fairly good. Now that we've figured out that we have a stock that's watch listable or worth buying, let's see if we could find an entry point into the stock. That's the main thing. There isn't, unfortunately, a really good entry point into the stock. The last entry point off of a flat base on a stage 1 flat base was 91.57. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the way stocks trade, they typically move from base to base, and there's various different base patterns. One of them is a consolidation base, another one is cup with handle, and so forth. And when they move above these levels, they then are said to have moved past a pivot point. When they move past a pivot point, that's when you want to buy them. Unfortunately, this has moved past the pivot point, but it's moved too far up. You can buy this stock, but it's not going to be optimal. I think what you have to do on this one is wait until there's a consolidation. I know that's very frustrating, but it's moving very nicely. But I think you need to wait on this one, put it on a watch list, and see if it forms a base pattern, and then buy it off the base pattern. So I would not buy this one, but I would definitely put it on a watch list. It's excellent stock, and it's just not time for it yet. That's the main issue. So let's see. Any mutual funds or anything. Okay, well, there are ways to buy mutual funds. If you don't want to do stock picking, you can very, very easily buy ETFs, and I definitely recommend them. Now, what is an ETF? An ETF is an exchange-traded fund, and basically there's an ETF literally for everything. If you're looking just to be kind of an easy way to go, just buy the QQQs. And every time the market is in a confirmed uptrend, you go 100% into that. And if it moves to a uptrend under pressure, you sell half of it. If it goes into a downtrend, you sell 100% of it and wait for it to come back. That's an easy way to go. So if you're looking for kind of a set and forget way to do it, that's a way to do it. Now, I do have an alternative for you. If you just want a really good basket of really strong growth stocks, what I would recommend, what I would recommend on that is an ETF called with the symbol FFTY, and this is a very interesting one in that it covers the IBD 50, and these are some of the better growth stocks out there. So this is one you might want to consider as well. It has pulled back a little, but it's definitely moving in an upward trend as we speak. It's not necessarily as good as the other ETF that I've been recommending, GBTC, but it is not bad. This one is 38.49. Another one I would possibly recommend, basically, at least towards the end of the year, is an ETF called GBTC. This is Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, so GBTC. And I showed you that a little bit earlier, and I'm going to show it to you again here. It has got a very nice movement upwards. This is the daily chart here. But more importantly, it's important to look at that weekly chart to get that trend. And there we go. So we do have a very strong trend up there. The last buy point, unfortunately, though, was at about the 1470 level. But this is moving into, you could still buy this at this level. There is a lot of interest in it right now. So that might be a good one to go if you're looking for a mutual fund kind of play. So let's see. Visa. Visa is a long-term play. Sometimes next year the economy will get better. People try your take. Well, you know what? I think Visa is one of the great stocks. I agree with you. I think it's one of the great financial stocks out there. But can you make a lot of money on it? Well, maybe. But currently, the stock chart, the weekly chart's looking pretty good. So I'm pretty confident in that. I'm going to give you an idea on that chart right now. That chart is looking good. We definitely have an upward trend, which is the way to. There we go. Come on. Yeah, we definitely have an upward trend on this, and we do have a buy point on this in very short order. If you were interested in buying this one, I would wait. I would watch this one. Wait to see if it moves above 217.35. If it does, and that's what they call a consolidation base, then you're going to have a very nice buy point on it. So I'm going to put that out there on the chat. Visa buy point is equal to, and I'm going to give you that exact number, 217.35. All right, and I'm just going to put that out there. Put that out there on the chat. 217.35 is the buy point for Visa. Now, what does that mean? Well, if Visa moves above 217, moves above 217, then it's likely to go higher and not pull back. Until it gets to that 217 range, it's likely to pull back. So if you're patient and you're willing to wait and buy it at 217, I think that would be a good place to buy it. I do think that long term Visa is very strong, and it has some very, very nice characteristics. Now, certain things that I don't like about it, and I just want to be upfront on that, is that it only has a relative strength of 48. I typically only like to buy stocks that have an 80 or better. So this is in the lower half of all the stocks out there, even though it's Visa. Another thing about Visa that I'm not quite excited about is that Visa is only 5 out of 9 on the checklist. I like to see 6 out of 9 or better. Also, the funds, well, the funds are definitely in there. I mean, there's 5,376 funds in there, and that's up over last month. But, you know, I'm not as jazzed because of those other things. So would I buy a Visa right now? No, I would wait until there's some more strength. I would maybe watch list this Visa, but this is not a buy right away. You probably could do better if you would look at, there's 2 stocks that I want you to look at that I think are better than Visa. And one of them, and this is an odd usual stock, I've talked about this stock before, it is called Green Dot. And what it is that if you go to the Walmart and that kind of thing, they have these rechargeable credit cards that they have, and it's called Green Dot. This is a better company than Visa, at least in the short term. It's got a 91 relative strength. It also has an increasing fund ownership. It's got a 100% checklist. Visa doesn't have anything near that. It only has, the Visa checklist is only 55%. This is 100%. So, would I, if I had to be in this financial area, what would I do? Well, guess what? I would buy Green Dot. Green Dot, and it's a lot less expensive too. It's $56.87. It's up $2.73 today, or 5%. That's much better than Visa. The symbol on Green Dot is GDOT, and I'm actually going to put that on the watch list because I do think that going into the new year, that's going to be a better stock. Now, here's the thing. You know, when it's true, retail buying will open up, and a lot of that stuff is going to happen. But when that happens, a lot of people are going to be unemployed, unfortunately. A lot of people will have lost their jobs in restaurants and various other things. So there's going to be a credit problem in this country coming into the next year. Now, I'm not a prognosticator, and I'm certainly not an economist, but I do know that a lot of people are going to be very, very short on cash. And that said, they're not going to be able to have traditional Visa MasterCards where they have balances. The difference with Green Dot is it's not really a credit card. Basically what you do is you get the card, and then you go, it's a prepaid card. You go down to Walmart, you put money on it, and then you use that to pay your bills. So people that have bad credit, and there's going to be a lot of people with bad credit, this is what they're going to use. So Green Dot is where I think where you want to be, not Visa. So I appreciate that question. It's a very good question. But, you know, I think that, you know, for profitability, Green Dot is probably going to do better than Visa. All right. Happy Friday. Thank you. Let's look at CIIG. Thank you, Adrian. All right. CIIG. And see if I can get, CIIC and CIIG. There we go. All right. Nope, not found. Okay, what am I doing wrong? CIIG. Okay, come on, baby. Well, it doesn't seem to want to bring it up. Let's look at for NetE. I don't know what NetE is. So let's NETE. Let's see if I come, there we go. Net Element. That's a $12 stock. Typically you want to stay away from stocks that are under $15, but I definitely have made money on stocks below $10, so I should always eat my own dog food. Let's look at the weekly chart on this one. I don't like the trend on this one. I'll be honest with you. The trend is going lower on this one, so I don't like this trend. It does have a relative strength of 98, though. I like that. Let's look at the checklist. 5 out of 9, just not good enough for me. Let's look at the fund ownership. It's going up, so that's good. This is a mixed bag. Net Element is absolutely a mixed bag. I wouldn't buy this one. I probably wouldn't even watch this one. I just don't think it's good enough. Now it is up $4.98 today, so I could be all wet. I mean, it bounced off the 200-day moving average, but there is a downward trend on this one. This one looks kind of like a pump and dump, a little bit of pump and dump here. So be very, very careful with this one. That's kind of my take on it. So, anyways, that's hi, Jim. Could you talk about MAXR? Maxar. MAXR. Let's look at MAXR. MAXR. Let's see what we got here. Oh, Maxar Technologies. Okay. All right. I like this chart. I have to say, This is $26.74. It's up $1.74. This is excellent, by the way. 95 relative strength. Wow, this is looking good. Let's show the chart up here so that we can take kind of analyze it. Remember, we always start out in that weekly chart. Let's look at the earning. Let's look at the sales. We have two nice increasing sales quarters. I like that. Remember, in growth stocks, the most important thing, earnings are very important, but the most important thing in a growth stock is its sales. The faster the sales go up, the more people like it, because remember, people aren't buying for today, they're buying for about 18 months out. So that is a good thing. So I'm liking that as well. Let's look at this relative strength. It's 95. Boy, I like that. Also, if you notice this little blue line, it's pointing up, so it's going to move up, potentially over this 200-day moving average. That's looking good. In general, this is looking pretty decent. Let's look at the checklist. 6 out of 9, that's a good smell test there. That's smelling pretty good. 6 out of 9, liking that. And let's look at the fund ownership. That's going up too. This is a good stock. Now, how would I buy it, or would I buy it, or what would I do? What is the strategy on this one? Well, let's see if we can find a place to buy it. I can't really find a place to buy it because it has pulled above the 40-day. You know what? The place to buy this is right now. It's pulling back. It's down. It's pulled down $1.03 as we speak. If this thing reverses higher on Monday, you could definitely buy it off of that 40-day line. Now, remember, there's two good places to buy a stock. One is when it's coming out of a base pattern, or it's right below a base pattern. And of course, that's the cup with handle, the consolidation base, the double bottom. But the second place you can buy it is after it's bouncing off of the one of the average lines, and basically the one that you really want to buy off of is this one, this red one here. It's the 40-day moving average. That's the one you want to come up. It's pulled. What's happened with this is it's pulled below that 40-day. It's then powered up to the 40-day. It peaked out at about 28.44, and then it pulled back to the line, and it looks like it's going to bounce higher. So this might be a good place to buy this. This is a good stock. Maxar, MAXAR Technologies, symbol MAXR. So thank you so much for that. It's on the New York Stock Exchange, and pretty cool. Very good. Thank you for bringing that. All right. So let's take a look for TikTok. Long GD. Nice, Mr. Bitcoin 7. Nice. I wish I could show you this. On the TikTok, I can't show it on the YouTube, but this is really nice, Mr. Bitcoin 7. I like that. I like that handle, man. GBDC at 495. You're a stud, man. That's great. Congrats on that. I'm really liking that. And by the way, if you do want to see this on YouTube, just jump on over youtube.com/DallasTradingFloor. And of course, this is episode number 179. Wowee. That's really great, Mr. Bitcoin. Let's see, we take another one. Loving that. I'm so excited. Buy the dip on the GBDC. I think so. I added to my position because I like this GBDC so much. I'd frankly, I wish I could just buy 100 Bitcoins, but right now that's not in the budget. But the GBDC is kind of the next best thing for me because it's easy to go in and out. So thanks you for that advice, Mr. Bitcoin 7. I think that's pretty darn good. I think we're going to see movement. I think we're going to see good movement into the end of the year. Now I have another question from Laquessery. Is that right? Am I getting that right on the handle? Which stocks will rise? Wow, I wish I knew. I wish I had a crystal ball like that, but I could tell you what stocks are breaking out. So, let's see if I can give you some good information on stocks breaking out today. I have two stocks that are breaking out today. Now, I going too far in the future, I can't do it, but I can tell you two stocks that are breaking out today. One of them I like as much as I like the other one. The one stock that I like that's breaking out today is a company called Medifast, and of course they're kind of like Weight Watchers in that they have the the weight loss program, which I'm going to definitely need after Thanksgiving on this. But they're looking very strong. Got a nice chart. They're right in the buy zone now. And I'm going to probably put this one on the watch list because I do think that this will be ready to buy come Monday. Come Monday, I think the MetaFast will be ready to buy. It's moving off of a cup with handle base. This is the best base. It's a stage one. Stage one bases are the best. There's basically 4 stages: 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3 are really good. 4, not so much. But this one, excellent. First stage base, cup with a handle, up $5.62 today. If it can hold the pivot at 179.04, I think we have a winner. And this is breaking out today. So that would be one I would look at today to buy. And it's in a good area. It's not, it's not tech, but certainly can be used by pretty much everyone, including me. So I kind of like that one. All right, so let's look here. We have Per Diem Health. That's off of YouTube. That's their handle. Let's look at SPE to see if there's anything there that's exciting. Switchback. This is what they call a SPAC. What they do is that they're kind of like a blind pool. They put together capital in that, and they look for a company to buy. These are already on the stock exchange. It's kind of like what they call back in the old days in penny stock land. They used to call these reverse mergers. Earlier in my career, I was very familiar with these things. Not really what I can't really give you a lowdown. I don't like these, and I'll tell you why I don't like them. Because I don't know what they're buying. I like to see what they're buying first before I buy. I kind of like to see, what they're buying. Now, they may find or acquire or something really great in the energy industry, but right now, I'd pass on it. I would pass on it just because it's just too hard. There's so many other things that are really good. By the way, I want to look at a stock that I was in. I moved out of, but I want back in. It's Palantir, PLTR. Is the symbol on that one. And it's pulled back today a little bit. There's maybe a buying opportunity on Monday on this one. I want to show you this one because PLTR is the symbol for it, Palantir. Now, this doesn't really have a good buy point. I will be the first to admit this, but I like this stock a lot. I was into the earnings, and then I pulled back. It's pulling back a little bit today. It's down 85 cents at 18.13, but it is right at a very key level. This thing is going to move higher probably on Monday. Just want to be out there with this. This is a 98 relative strength. It's got a checklist of 66. That's my minimum. Funds are coming into it. By the way, Kathy Woods, who's really a incredible stock picker, she has the ARK funds, the ARK Invest funds. She was the early Tesla bull, and she's very good at picking stocks. I wish I had their talent. I wish I had her money. But she's moving heavily into this one. I think this is a winner, PLTR. But that's kind of off the side. It's pulled back a little bit. I think you could possibly buy it at this level. It in no way is this a low risk one. This is a high risk, but I think it's good. So I just FYI. Putting it out there, and that one might be one that you could jump in. Let's take another call from TikTok. Fiverr. Okay. Well, thank you. This is a call for Fiverr. So this one pulled back really, really strongly. So, I'm not sure that might be the best thing. But let's look at Fiverr. I think it's FIVR. I think it's the symbol on Fiverr. And of course, it helps if I put it in the right data. There we go. Fiverr. Well, is it coming in there? I don't think I have the right. I don't think I have the right one. All right. Let's look at HYLN. I'm not sure about that one either. HYLN. Let's look at that. Oh, great. Highline provider of electrified powertrain solutions. This is a kind of a Me Too company in the electrical vehicle space. A lot of good companies in that space, but it's getting really crowded. Would I buy this stock? Absolutely not. This is a terrible chart. I'm looking at the at the weekly chart here. There we go. Come on, baby. There we go. All right. As you can see, I'm drawing a line on the chart here. We have a downward slope. Now it's pulled back a little bit, and it seems to be making some upward momentum. It pulled back to the 200-day line. It bounced off of that. It's pulled above the 21-day exponential, but the trend on this is still downward. I couldn't be in this one. This is a 96 relative strength, though, so it did initially in the early part of the year. It did really well, but now not so much. It's up 83 cents a day, and it's a 25.13 stock. So let's look at the checklist. The checklist just isn't good enough. It's 5 out of 9. I wouldn't buy it. Ownership, it's retreating. So what about this stock? Save your money. Save your money on this one. There are other better ones. I think that, instead of this Highland, let's look at NEO to see how that's trading today. I think NEO is probably an easier way to make money, and definitely look at that. It's up $6.79. So instead of buying this other one, why not buy NEO? Why not buy NEO? This is the Chinese sort of Tesla. That's what they call it. It's just moving up to the moon. Now, if I did buy it, there's not a really good buy point here, but if I did buy NEO, I would definitely set a very, very tight stop loss. But it's got an 88 checklist. That's excellent. Look at the ownership. The funds are moving up. So NEO, I would buy NEO, but I wouldn't buy the other one. And that's just sort of, where it's at. All right, Blink Charging. This is one of my faves. Now, this is an area that I do think is kind of cool. BLNK. And Blink Charging, what they do is they have a kind of a revenue share model where they go around to the various bodegas and little stores and stuff like that, and they put their charging stations out front. And it's super great because you just go there, you park your car, you put your credit card in. I think you even pay with Apple Pay too. You charge it up, your car, because not everyone's going to have a Tesla in this electrical vehicle market. There's going to be a lot of Chevy Bolts sold and a lot of stuff like that. So they're going to need to have charging stations. But they do a revenue share with the local bodega owner. And it's a great deal because typically they can charge a higher rate for their electricity, and it's still much cheaper than buying gasoline. So it's a total win-win. Now, it is up $4.83 today. I missed this one because, I've been talking about this for a while. It's been on my watch list, and boom, people are moving into it. Look at this chart. It's just going stratospheric, 22.64. Well, I would wait on this one. I do think we're going to get a pullback, and then I think we could buy it. The pullback, I believe, is going to be to about 18.29. And why do I know that? Because there's some resistance there. There's kind of a little bubble that I see. So this is a winner. This is Blink Charging. Now, would I buy it today? No, because unfortunately, we missed that gap up. And it's always frustrating when you miss the gap up. But we definitely missed this. 7 out of 9 on the checklist. Excellent. Let's look at the ownership. The ownership is going up. I really like this one. Here's the thing. I'm going to wait probably till next week. I'm going to probably put this. I'm going to probably put BLNK on the watch list because I do think that we have potentially some explosive growth. Now, where it really moved up is, as you can see right here on the chart. I don't know if you can see this. At 14.58, it moved beyond that, and that was a very, very bullish sign. So, love this stock. Wait for a pullback and buy it. I think you're going to win on this one. Thanks you so much for that. SBE. Let's look. Let's see. I took one from per diem, so let's see if I can take another. Let's look at Pfizer, PFE. Thank you, Harris. So appreciate it. Let's look at PFE. Let's look at that stock. Pfizer. Even though they came out with the coronavirus, it seems like the Moderna vaccine is a little bit better than theirs. In the short term, let's look. First of all, let's go with the weekly chart. Let's look at it. Let's go with the weekly chart. Okay, we still have a little bit of a downward trend on that. It did push up, but then it pulled back. Here's the thing about Pfizer. There just isn't a really good entry point on this one. It's only got a relative strength of 21. Even though I really like what they're doing, I think their story is great. I think their story is great, but I don't think this is the right stock. So I would pass on Pfizer. I would absolutely pass on PFE. And that's just just something where to go. Now, I've been talking about bases. I've been talking about relative strength. I'm talking about all these things. Where do I get all this stuff? Well, I didn't invent it. I wish I did. Boy, that would be great. Where I got it, and sort of just want to kind of share a secret with you, and it's not that much of a secret really, but it is basically I am what they call a CanSlim trader, and this is a system that has been developed over about the last 30 years. That is a tremendous system for making money in the stock market. It's developed by William O'Neill, who is the founder of the Investor Business Daily. I think this is the premier way to learn how to trade and trade profitably. Now, how can you learn how to do this with low cost, not spending anything, just getting used to it? Well, you can go to my website, www.DallasTradingFloor, and then I have a little tab on here. It's called the Learn to Trade bookshelf. Click on that, and then this is the book that I think that you might want to take a look at. How to Trade in Stocks, A Winning System, Good Times or Bad by William O'Neill. And also, if you do decide to buy this one, try to buy this other one too. It's by Matthew Galgani, and it's the Getting Started book. It's essentially a companion, and it's kind of a checklist for making right stock decisions. I tell you what, I read this book about 20 years ago. It changed my life, and I have an MBA, and I have worked as a financial analyst for many very big, prestigious companies. I didn't learn anything that compares to what I learned from William O'Neill with the CanSlim system. So very, very highly recommended. Just go to the website, www.DallasTradingFloor, Learn to Trade bookshelf, and then the How to Make Money in Stocks, A Winning System, Good Times or Bad. It's about a 99 on my list in terms of, what to learn and to make money. What do you think about Pfizer? Well, unfortunately, we just went over the Pfizer chart, and unfortunately, with Pfizer, I just don't think that I don't think it's the right stock. It's a great company, but not the right stock, not the right time. Demetrius, let's look at NRZ. Thank you for holding on and being patient. And Demetrius is coming in off of the YouTube. And by the way, the YouTube has a chat feature, and of course you can see all of the charts on YouTube, as well as communicate with me real time, so I can take a look and hopefully help with some of these things that you're looking for. This is essentially, it's called New Residential Invest. That's the name of the of this stock. I don't like this stock. I'll be honest with you. It is a sort of a penny stock. It's below $15. Typically, you want a stock that's above $15. But you know what? I've made money on stocks that are below $10 and below $5. So, but it's harder to trade a lower price stock because they're more volatile. With this one, there was big buying on this one. I just don't recommend it. It's got a relative strength of 14. This is don't be fooled by some people. Don't be fooled by trying to buy a so-called bargain. This is essentially not the way to go, because by doing that you're making it harder to make money. This stock is moving downwards, and yes, it did pull back. It moved above the 200-day moving average. But one thing you must do is the first thing to look for a stock. One, look at the general trend. If the trend is down, eliminate it. Another thing, if it's trended below the 200-day moving average, eliminate it. And just do it like that. You want to eliminate. What you want to do is you want to focus on the very best stocks that you can buy, because they have the higher likelihood. You have a higher likelihood of being correct with those, and making money. And that's the whole idea. Let's look at Palantir. Thank you, Ollie. Appreciate it. Tupperware and Palantir. I'm in, of course, as you well know, I'm in Tupperware right now. Let's look at the Tupperware chart. The symbol on that is TUP. And, let's see. It's Tupperware, as you can see, it has an ascending chart. Just want to show you the chart on the screen. It has an ascending chart. Let's look at the weekly chart to start. And we'll pull over the weekly. And the weekly, as you can see, it has a very nice ascension there. We like to see that. That's strong. It has a 99 relative strength. That's also very good. As you can see, it's pulled much higher today off of this 40-day line. It's up $5.62. This has been on my watch list for quite a while. I also own it in a small portfolio. Just kind of want to show you that. I've been touting this one basically for a little over a week. Let's see, when I bought Tupperware, I just have to look back because I don't keep, this is how I keep my records. I bought it on the 16th. That was 5 days ago. We're up about 12% in those 5 days. So I do recommend this Tupperware. Is it a good place to buy it? Is it a good time to buy it now? Good question. It's so hard when you're chasing. I don't like to chase stocks, and right now I think we are chasing it. If we jump in it right now, I want to see it pull back a little bit, maybe to the $30 level. Wait for this one to pull back. If it bounces off that 40-day line, and that's going to be about $30, then I think you might want to get back into it. It's up tremendously today. It's up $5.82 or 18.96. So can you buy it at this level? I think you can. If you buy it at this level, set a stop loss. There's not a drop or buy point on this one. Let's look at the daily chart to see if I can see anywhere to really buy it. I think you can buy it at this level here. I have some of my notations on it where I bought it. I think you can buy it at this at this level. I think it's moving above this level. So 34. So I think I think you can buy it actually at this level. I think you can buy it at this level, 34.41. And I think you actually can buy it at this level. But be very careful. If you do buy this one, try not to buy it in a full position. Try to buy a half position and set your stop loss at about 2.5% below, because this is not a proper buy point, and I just want to be clear about that. Now, let's look at some other things that we have going on here. Interestingly enough, these are insider buying and insider selling, so kind of a wash on that. I always look to see if there's insider buying. Insider buying is a very, very good thing on a stock, because that means that the executives think that the stock is undervalued, and I definitely look for that as well on a stock. So let's see. We have a few more questions, and I want to show you the watch list. And yeah, okay. Let's see this. Hey, Wendy, thank you so much. DraftKings was to a target of $100. Is it a buy? Boy, I like this stock, Wendy. I really do. I like DraftKings. DKNG is a symbol. DKNG. Let's look at DraftKings. I do like the symbol. It's pulled back the 40-day line. So let's see if there's a place that we could enter this stock. We have. Let's look at the weekly. We always start with the weekly chart to see a general trend. Okay. Well, it's resumed its general upward trend. This is important. This is the first thing that you look at. You see if there's a general upward trend, and right, if we go back just to a few weeks, just to a few weeks ago, just to 3 weeks ago, this was not buyable. Why? Because it was in a downtrend, but it has changed and it's moved to an uptrend, and it looks like it's retaking that 40-day line. So that's very bullish on DraftKings. I can see why it got this upgrade. That's very bullish. So that's a good thing. Where can you buy this? Well, I definitely think you can buy this, and the buy point is 44.79. It's 48.23. So it's a little bit extended, but I'm going to put that out there on the chat. DKNG. This is DraftKings. Buy point is equal to, and I'm just going to look at this really carefully. The buy point is 44.79. And that's on is that a first stage? Is that a first stage buy point? No, it's a third stage. Third stage consolidation. Oops. I think I got there. The buy point is and again I didn't quite get that right. 44.79. All right. And then post that onto the chat. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, or Facebook, I'm putting out on the chat, I'm putting out the buy points. Now, what is a buy point? Well, a buy point is kind of where a stock rests as it's ascending. So on the DraftKings, this is going to be a good place that you can possibly buy this. A buy zone is the buy point up 5%. That's your buy zone. So I definitely think you can buy this one at this level now at the 48.29. Now I would like to see it pull back a little bit, but it's buyable at this level. It has retaken the 40-day line. So that's good. That's going to be a very good stock. Very good. So thank you so much for that, Wendy. Appreciate it. Well, I've been on an hour, and thank you everyone for taking a look. Just wanted to show you a few things that you might be of interest, and that is if you go to www.Dallas Trading Floor, I have a watch list that you can definitely see of the stocks that I'm watching and in the correct times to buy them. You punch on this thing, it's called watch list, and then there's a little button that says push here to see the current watch list, and basically what will happen is you'll see it come up with the watch list. And these are the watch lists that I have. This is what stages they're in, if I'm owning them, and the whole thing. So very easy to see my watch list. Also, if you want to see the how I'm trading in my portfolio, very easy to do. Just go to www.Dallas Trading Floor, and there is a sign up, first and last name, and email address. Of course, it's all free. You'll get the action trade alerts, and also you'll be able to see how I'm trading as well. So happy trading. I hope that everyone has a good holiday. Stay safe, and I will see you on 2:30 through 30 on Monday for the next Dallas Trading Floor. And if in the meantime you need to contact me, you can contact me easily through the website, www.Dallas Trading Floor. Just hit the Ask a Question button, and you'll be good to go. So thanks. See you.